Hello and welcome to how I play my level 110 Beastlord. So we're going to talk about spells, we're going to talk about some hotbars and stuff like that. We're going to talk about the pet, and we'll talk about gear. So if you've watched my other videos on how I play my Beastlord, from 50 to 110, the setup is pretty much the same. At 106, we got a new spell slot, and I've decided to permanently keep the pet there, as I've had the pet die a few times. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first few spells here, so let's get these in the right order here. These are all frost nukes, and let's go ahead and throw bite up in there too. Talk about all these at the same time. So these are all different timers, right? So timer 7, 14, 15, and 6. These are all single target, I believe. Yeah, these ones are all single target. Nukes that are near instant cast. They're all pretty much the same thing. 0.4 seconds. It goes down to like 3.75, I think, during Bard's quick time. But it is nice, right? This is direct damage. This does not require us to be in melee, but it will do some significant damage. So it is pretty nice. And I say that you don't have to be in melee because as I'm boxing this character, and getting every character into melee is, sometimes a problem when the mobs die in less than 30 seconds. And so if I can get a lot of damage out in a short period of time without even having to swing a weapon, I'm happy, because that's enough. And these 3-4 weapon or spells, there's another one I think down here. I also do. We'll talk about that one in a second. If we can get those all out in a quick amount of time, that is nice. So these are all just nukes. This one does 9400, 7600 with poison and 62 cold. What is this? 70. This one does poison, ice, and disease. So that's 7,000, 7,300, and 6,700. And then a chance for one of those to duplicate. And then we have bite here, which is 11,000. So these are really nice nukes. Really low mana, so it's pretty nice there. Then we have Verant. This is our current level swarm pet and growl. Now, the growl, you can see here that it casts 2 spells in one. The growl is a buff that increases the stats of the pets by, what is it, 7,200 hit points, 9. Heals it for 900 every 6 seconds, and increases its melee damage by 20. So you want your pet to have that at all times. And then you get this also here, which is a swarm pet, which does 18 seconds of swarming for a 9% chance to do 2 of them. So if we cast this one, is this dummy right here? If we cast this right, we get Growl of the Sabertooth, and then we get our little pet here. And there's a 9% chance we get 2 of these little guys. So that's a significant amount of damage that we get. Like if I just look here, right? This warder pet is doing, make sure, yeah, it's just this little summon pet is doing anywhere from 2,900 to 16,000. Like there's a lower hit, right? So significant amount of damage. I don't believe they have a proc on them, but it's a decent amount of damage. So it's really nice. The extra pet helps the mage damage in my group, so having more pets attacking a target increases mage damage. So it's pretty nice there. And then growl is on every, all the pets, I believe. It's on my pet at least. I don't know if all the pets get it. Let me check real quick. This is my mage. So I'm just looking here. She has Dissonant Roar and Fury. All right. I don't see it on that, so I guess it's just my pet that gets it, so that is fine. But with that said, getting, healed for, what was that, 800 every 6 seconds, that's a nice little heal on these pets. And my pet that, actually lets them sustainably tank things in certain situations. So that's pretty nice long term. Next up, I have Delrelto's Mending, which is our target heal. I like this because it gets more heals on my group and especially my tank. We've been using this for I don't know how long now. Since we got the first one, I think, or the first since I've realized what this spell does is a target heal. I think we've been using this, and I really like it because it gives me, extra healing for my Shadow Knight, and it gets extra healing, to whoever's tanking, and that can be also pets. I've pet taught on all my pets, so whoever is, taking damage will get the heal. So I feel like it's worth it. Obviously it's not a maximize your DPS kind of thing, but at the same time, I don't feel like I need to maximize my DPS when the mobs are dying so fast. This is more or less in certain situations, so helps out a ton. And then we have Convivial Warder here, grants your warder a bolstering power, allowing itself to heal its most hated enemy. It's a target heal for 9,000. This will fade after 48 minutes, or is that 48 minutes or 48 seconds? I feel like this spell got nerfed from this level to this current level. No, 48 minutes, because it's 1 hour duration. Or 16 heals. So if my warder heals somebody 16 times, this buff will fade. All right, so this is I would consider this a short-term, short-duration buff, right? So I have this in my short-term buffs to recast it the same interval I would recast any of the short-term Shadow Knight buffs, right? So this casts 7 Convivial Warder and Shared Merciless Ferocity. So that is kind of what it is, but I don't remember in the previous version. Let's take a look real quick. The previous version, I don't think it had that 16 heals. That's kind of that sounds like a big ass nerf to this spell here. I think the last one was Mending Warder. So this one does not have that, right? It does not have that 16 heals. Now it theoretically could, it just wasn't written in the tooltip. I don't know. So that's just something to keep in mind. Let's see what we got here. We got next up, we have Dissonant Fury. So this will cast the highest rank we know of Dissonant Fury, adding HP, mana, endurance, increasing your damage mitigation, your weapon speed, increasing the chance that you and your pets will perform flurries. Now everybody in the group gets that, so that is a nice little buff. This character has done a lot of the progression inside of the Burning Lands already, since it is a persona. So she has Dissonant Fury 4, which is the best version that I can get right now. I don't know if there's a higher one. There might be like a raid version of it, but she does have like Jan's Veil and all that stuff. So she is a little bit more ahead, but this is like my oldest character that I still have. This character has been around for a while. So what that actually does is increase the pet chance to flurry by 92%, lowers the amount of damage you take from damage shields by 85%, increases the chance you'll flurry by 38%, adds a chance for your pet to rampage, speeds up all melee attacks for 12 seconds, increases HP by 100 or 11,000, mana by 4,000, and endurance by 1,000 when it hits. So that's every 60 seconds, I believe. So that's pretty nice. Like if I just cast it now, you'll see Dissonant Fury right there. Well, it's 30 seconds. So 30 seconds recast 60 seconds. So there's a little bit of downtime on that. But you can see here Dissonant. No, that's the Shaman one. Dissonant Fury is over here. So it's nice. It's nice to have. I do it on cooldown just because. Next up, we have a Polyblade Blood. Fills your targets with deadly venom, adding 20 poison counters, causing 16,000 damage initially, and then 13,000 damage every 6 seconds. Now, I have this spell up. This was recommended to me by Blarp, one of the best Beastlords to exist. He recommended this bloodline of spells because I was like, what am I going to do? I was running out of spells in this, and this spell came up because this poison, 16,000 initial damage, right? It's a little bit high on the mana cost, but we do have Paragon and other means to get mana back, so it works pretty well. I have it at the last, I believe the last place in my spell multi-bind here. Well, it's the second to last. These ones swap, but it gives me a 16,000 nuke, and then it's going to take a few seconds for me to recast it. So it's going to tick down at least once or twice before that. So that's another 13,000. So it's pretty nice. It's got the nice, recast timer on it. So it's a nice little spell. Now, after that, I have, what is this called? Ekron's Chill. This is another dot. It's 13,000 initially, 12,000. Now, the reason I have this spell memorized at all times, even though I'm technically not using it, is because I swap between heal and the chill. As I was saying, Ekron's Chill is a 13,000 initial nuke. Now, I have right here in my multi-bind, these are the last spells that will run. So it's either going to be Mending or Chill, and I can just swap these like so between them. So if I want more damage, I get more damage. If I want more healing, I get more healing. So right now I go for more healing, but later on I'll go for more damage. But I keep it memorized at all times, just in case I manually cast it. All right, now we have Shared Merciless Ferocity. I can't even talk. This spell hasn't been updated since level 100. I don't believe it ever gets updated again, but this is a group attack, triple attack, resistance, stamina. It's just an all-around great spell, and for some reason they never continued it or made it an AA. I know on is either the Lorien Song or the Outer Brood beta forums, people are asking this to become a beta, to become an AA, just so they don't have to waste a spell slot on it. But here we are. Next up we have Virazak's Aggression, which just makes my mortar more aggressive. There's a opposite version for tanking, a defensive one. Since I have a tank, I don't need the defensive one, so I go with this. So this lowers the amount of hatred your warder generates and increases its accuracy by 35%, and the minimum damage because of melee attacks by 20% at the cost of losing 10% of its maximum health and some armor. Now, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. He's still tanky even with his buff on, so it's something I try to keep on at all times just for that extra damage. Now, there, see, it's on now. I've resummoned this warrior. I've changed my earring out like 3 times. And then finally, in the last spell slot, I keep the pet now. I find, like, I have had pets die in the middle of battle, and having to, like, use a pet macro to resummon that pet is quite difficult sometimes. So just having it there, I can just click it and then go back to another character is great. Outside of these spells, I do cast Companion's Unity here, which is a group, not a group buff. This is the pet buff, and it's all the pet buffs in one. So if I can actually scroll through here, see here, Companion's Unity. So this gives us the highest version of Tremendous Velocity, which is our pet haste. Increases the pet attack speed by 85%. Melee damage by 21%, armor class by 128%, attack rating by 418, and puts then onto the group, gives everybody in the group 53% haste. Nice little spell. Then we also get Spirit of Baramos, which also fills the warder with a great spirit, increasing their dexterity by 75 and giving them the chance to perform 1482 magical attack, which lowers the target's hatred for them by 875% and stuns the target to up to level 113 for 1.5 seconds. Each attack reflects the prism's skin, which absorbs the next 2 attacks on your warder. So this is more of a tanky little buff here, but definitely worth it when the warder is tanking. So, and then we also have Fearless Unity, which is the warder unity, I guess. Not the warder, the Beastlord's unity. This does both of the spiritual vibrancy, which is like the original brawn, so it's the HP buff and attack buff. And then we have spiritual empowerment, which is the regen, so HP, mana, and endurance regeneration. So you want to have those all at all times because they're perfect. And then I have Spirit of Tal attack here. I moved these all to slot 13, but I guess I did not do this one. So Spirit of Tal attack, which is, let's go ahead and do that one. That's a movement speed buff. We're not using it for the movement speed per se anymore, but we're using it for the attack rating that it gives. It gives a slight attack rating. You can see here we have currently 4957 attack, and yeah, I don't think we're fully buffed right now though. I also do Hobble of Spirits, which is an AA that allows the pet to snare, and then Taste of Blood, which is another activated ability AA. Gives the pet a chance, like if he gets a killing blow, to like do more damage, but like, theoretically that's never gonna happen. The way my group runs is never gonna happen for the warder to get it. I think that is more of a solo skill, I would say, because the warder is just not gonna get the killing blow off a wizard. I'm just gonna say it right now. The wizard just straight up kills everything at the very last second. But those are all the spells I use on a pretty much regular basis. I also have Pack of the Worrying, which is a self buff. I just recast that. It's permanent. It doesn't like go away ever. So it's pretty nice. It turns us into a werewolf, increases our accuracy by 35%, movement speed by 56%, mana by 7,500, health by 7,500, mana regeneration by 110. Putting us at what, 943 mana regen right now. So it's pretty nice. And then we have Group Shrink, but that's not a buff. So that's the spells I pretty much cast all the time. So hotbar wise and how I have the multi-bind set up so that I can use this character. I have my Hide Corpse macro, which just does forage on pretty much every time I push it. I have assist button here. These two buttons are the same. This character is multi-bound, I believe, to 4 and 5, but it might just be, yeah, it's 4 and 5. So every time I push 4 or 5, every single one of these buttons on this last bar, every single one of these buttons, and 4 and 5 up here, all have a chance to activate in some kind of magical order that the Everquest client decides and does. Typically, it's like this down the row, but sometimes it's totally random. All right, so I use X-Target to do all my assisting. All my groups, all my characters have the exact same layout. It's, the group members, all first 6, so 1 through 6 are group members. 7 through 18 are mobs that we're not fighting. 18 or 19 is the group assist target, so that's whatever my tank is assisting and fighting, and then number 20 is whoever is marked as a group tank. Does not have to be Hobbs. Now it can be any, like I can switch out Hobbs for any of my other tank characters and he'll automatically pop there. I can make Gnome Regard the tank and he'll pop up right there too. So whoever's the tank goes there. So we assist, we turn on attack, we turn on pet attack, and we turn on pet swarm. We do have that little swarm pet running out. There's some AA swarm pets. We want all of those to reach, focus, and fight whatever we are fighting. So we have that. And then, so that's the assist. It's the same on 4 and 5. Next I have Mending. So I use 6 as kind of like an AoE catch-all. So in an AoE situation, I actually have the Beastlord heal just in case, because I find if I if I do AoE attacks with the Beastlord, now there is a few AoE attacks in my multi-bind that will hit whatever's in the cone. She will just die. I don't know. She has, you know, pretty good stats gear-wise. Maybe her AC is a little low, but I feel she just dies, right? She just falls over dead. I haven't figured it out yet. Like, it's, you know, I can't pull the aggro enough to be able to do it, but I find just switching to heals and taking off any kind of pressure that she would be doing to aggravate anything is the best call of action there. Next up, I have my burn, what is this? Burn 1, so Spire of the Rancor. So Spire of the Savage Rancor. What the hell do I have that written there for? Alright, it's the same thing. I don't know where I got Rancor from, but it's Spire of the Savage Lord. Maybe it was something else before. I don't know. Alright, so this will increase the minimum melee damage by 62. The pet gets components savagery, which increases their melee attacks, which also triggers at 3,700 or 37,000 proc. I mean, it's insane. All group members get Apex of the Savage Lord, which increases the minimum damage by 60, accuracy by 10%, and attack power by 100. And then, yeah, passively gives us a little bit of stats. So that's the first thing we do. Next up, I do group bestial alignment. So this will turn everybody into a beast. Increase their melee damage by 50%, grants them a 30% chance to resist spells, and whatnot. So I like to do that. I do bestial alignment, so I do the single target, like my personal one. On cooldown, it's a 12-minute reuse buff, so I do it all the time. Whereas the group one still is 12 minutes, but I just save it for the burn. Then we have forceful rejuvenation. This just resets anything that's not up. I do not believe any of these spells have super long cast times except for shared merciless veracity, so I don't think it really does much there. Then we have use 17, which is our breastplate. I'm using a snowbound dragon brood tunic, which what is this effect on here? Triggers Fury of the Warder on yourself and allows your warder's next 8 bash attacks to trigger a 46,000 nuke, so that's a significant amount of damage. And then we have Savage Rage, which there's Savage Rancor right there. I believe that is the wrong one. No, we did not get an update for that. That is all right. We didn't get an update, or I have not found the spell. I checked the Burning Lands, I checked Empires of Kunark, and I checked Ring of Scale for spells. So I guess we just did not get an upgrade for this. If we did, I'll get the next one. Right? It doesn't really matter. I don't burn a whole lot, but Savage Rage was the previous one. Savage Rancor increases our melee damage for 36 seconds. 20-minute reuse. Alright, then we have Bloodlust, which is an AA. Grants 100% chance for your magical weapon effects to trigger. Same thing the Bard has. This will make every single attack proc, so it's a really nice thing to have. In certain cases, you could really cheese some encounters with that. Then we have Rubari's Fury, which I believe is, yeah, right here. I feel like this one got replaced too. All right, timer 4. There is no timer 4, so this one has not been replaced either. It's a 20-minute reuse, 36 second duration, imbues your group with natural fury, increasing your damage mitigation, weapon speed, and increasing chance your pets will perform flurries, so just more damage. And then we have Alia's Benediction, which right here got replaced by Venance, so that's where that one goes. Let's fix that. Venon's Benediction right there, which we can make a new hotkey and replace that. Perfect. And then all that does is triggers a damage over time buff so that our damage over times will allow us to hit more. So pretty nice. And then we have use item Blood Drinker's Coating, which is no longer in my bags. Keyring, activated items. I don't actually have one on me. No, it's right here. It's just not in my bag. It's not in my thing. There we go. Perfect. All right. They're all over on all my characters. I have no idea. All right. So there we go. Use Blood Drinker's Coating. So this is inspect. Cast Vampiric Aura, so 2% of my melee damage becomes heals. So kind of nice in a burn situation, depending on if there's any AoEs or anything going out. So that's my burns. Slot 9 will become the glyph spot. So I just haven't made hotkeys on any of my characters yet, but major glyph of, or mythic glyph of major, or mythic glyph of ultimate power is what's going to go there whenever we start putting AAs into that, and that's just a huge damage buff. So we'll put that there at some point in time. I just haven't done it yet. Let's see here. So let's talk about the multi-bind, because all the rest of this stuff's not really too important. My debuff button is literally just here. Where's Hobbs? Target something. All right, so Hobbs has a target, so I can hit numpad 3, and she's gonna slow. Right, the only character I use to slow for the most part is the Beastlord, using this AA. So that's the only slow I use, and it's very rare. And then we do have a dots button here, but I haven't updated it, and I don't know how long this should be. But 9 and 10. Yeah, 9 and 10. I keep moving the spells around. I don't update the macros half the time. So numpad 4 will cast the 2 dots, blood and chill. And that kind of corresponds with my shaman. I have dots on that. I believe my Shadow Knight also has dots on numpad 4. So I kind of have those all synchronized up so they can kind of do the same thing at the same time. So 2 dots out on the mob, you know, a little bit of damage if we look at that, right? It's not terrible damage, right? It's dot damage is pretty nice, but the way I play and the way I kill things so fast, it's just pointless. Next up we have playing Possum, which is the Beastlord Feign Death. I just have that right there on numpad 5. So all my characters will feign death if they have it at the same time, which sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Then we have my short duration buffs, which cast Covorio Warder and Shared Merciless Ferocity, and just a simple little buff. All my characters do short duration buffs on numpad 7. And the next row is just teleportation stuff to get around the world easier. And then the multi-bind, right? So I do Dissonant Fury, I do Lance, I do Toxin, I do Bite, I do Pharagia, Maelstrom, Blood, Mangle. Mangle is our current level bonus attack now. If we go here to focus, synergy, you'll see that Mangle is our synergy spell. So every time we cast this, it has a chance to trigger Primalist Synergy 2 on everybody in the group, which increases the damage of 20 melee attacks by 7,200. If we go and just mangle this guy real quick, this one. You can see right here, we get the 20 charges of that. Now, that goes for everybody in the group, including pets. So every pet gets that. You can see right there, my pet got it. So that's an extra 7,200 damage that everybody can do when doing melee attacks. So it does not do for spells, but if you have a pet, it will do it on the pets. So interesting there. Like, you know, it might be worth meleeing with your wizards if you have them in the same group. Then we have Attack of the Warder, which summons swarm pets Looks like we get 1 out of this. It's a 109. Just another pet to throw out on the thing. And then we have Chameleon Strike, which is just a hand-to-hand attack that does a base damage 170 with 6,000 hatred reduction. So it's a nice little spell. Let's see here. Storm of the Claws strikes up to 3 targets in front of you for base damage of 277, 277, 332, and 304. So nice little cone attack, if you will. Frontal cone hits 3 mobs 4 times. So it's a nice little bit of damage, but be wary if you do not have full aggro on all the mobs before doing so, because you will be tanking those mobs. Next up, we have Bestial Savagery, which is increases our minimum melee damage by 143. Our chance to hit harder by 38. Your accuracy by 75. Your borders minimum damage by 143. Its chance to hit by 45, and its accuracy by 70 or 75. I'm guessing this is like minimum damage goes up by 38. I think that's what that actually means. So it's just a nice little buff, 1 minute duration, 30-second reuse. So like constantly available, I would say. Then we have Spirit Frenzy, which is Frenzy of Spirit, like the button and the name are different. I don't know why. Increases your melee speed by 100%. Increases your attack power by 600 and reduces your base weapon delay by 59% for 1 minute. Just a nice little buff. It's a 12-minute reuse, so I just do it on cooldown. 12 minutes is about my cutoff, so it's either burn if it's more than 12 minutes. If it's less, I just burn it on cooldown. Next up, we have Roar of Thunder, which deals 25,000 damage, reduces your target's hatred by 100,000. And reduces their strength, dexterity, agility by 275 for 1 minute. I do it on cooldown, 4-minute reuse. Nice little debuff there. Then we do Bestial Alignment on cooldown. It's a 12-minute buff. I do the group version in the burn. Theoretically, I mean, let's look at these, right? Bestial Alignment, increases my base melee damage by 290%. And grants you a 45% chance to resist spells. Now, theoretically, I would probably be better off taking this, because this one's only a 50% damage increase, doing this one on cooldown and saving Bestial Alignment for the actual burn. Now, because there's a higher chance when I'm burning that I'm going to put the Beastlord in melee, melee range, right? So that's probably something I should swap, and we'll see how it goes. Like as we get into the next zones, right? We're currently in Empires of Kunark at 110. Mobs are dying relatively fast at this point. I think as we get into say Torment of Velius and stuff like that, where the mobs have significant more hit points, we're not going to be killing the mobs in less than 30 seconds. I think it's going to be about a minute per mob in most cases. And in that kind of situation, I'm going to be moving the Beastlord into melee range more. And I think I'll benefit more from saving this Bestial Alignment for the burn and then the group one. So that's probably something I'll swap around. But right now, I kind of just do it on cooldown just for the sake of doing it. I think doing the other one on cooldown is probably better. And now that I'm talking myself through it, I'm going to just swap those right now. And let's switch the burn around here. What is this number here? 245. So we're just going to do 245. There we go. And we'll swap those around. Now, I'm changing it live as I talk myself through it. That's probably better long term for the stuff. So group Bestial Alignment will be now going out on cooldown, which will give everybody what is that? Everybody in the group will get a 50% bonus damage and 30% chance to resist spells. Whereas I will now be getting a 290% chance or 290% extra damage in melee, And this character does, like, if I line up everything, this character will top the DPS charts. It's just getting everything lined up correctly is the hardest part. Let's see, Warder's Gift is the next spell here we do. So consumes 15% of your Warder's maximum health to bless you with Warder's Benevolence, which gives me 58,000 hit points. So it's a big heal. I do it on cooldown because this character takes like random ass damage and I don't even know why. I truly don't know why she takes random damage sometimes. There's just so many hits and stuff going around, but she's usually number 2 on the target list, and it can get brutal. So extra heals are nice. Next up, we have the Mending and Chill. And as I said before, it's the multi-bind kind of stops here on spells, right? It's one of these will get activated, and whatever one it is, right? So whatever the first one is. So Mending is what I kind of go with right now, just for that extra healing. I feel like that's really beneficial. Maybe later on I won't need that and I'll go for more damage. So right now that's just how I feel. Next up we have Enduring Frenzy. Now, as I said, the spells stop right there, but all the AAs get activated at the exact same time. So it doesn't matter where they are in the list here, they will get activated at the same time. When activated, marks your target with a rune that gives it a chance to 160% bonus to restore endurance. So nice little endurance buff there. It's a 5-minute reuse, so something kind of nice to have. Next up, we have Frenzied Swipes. When activated, reduces the reuse time of our round kick by 4 seconds for 1 minute, so we can get some more kicks out, and which is nice. Now, auto skill. What page is that? Right here. So we have auto skill. We can do Dragon Punch, Eagle Kick, or Eagle Strike, Kick, Round Kick, or Tiger Claw. I do Round Kick, and I believe it's Tiger Claw. I believe at the moment. We will now use Tiger Claw instead of Eagle Strike. So I had Eagle Strike up. So let's go back to that. Eagle Strike. I think I was leveling it up so it would actually have max skill. Now, with that said, there are, different skills based on that. We'll talk about those here in a second. And then the final one right here, Reflexive Sundering. There is no level 105 or higher upgrade for this yet that I know of, so maybe we'll get one in 111 plus. This one reflexes your steel reflexes deliver 4 hand-to-hand attacks on their target, restoring large amounts of endurance to the group. So this is a nice endurance buff. It's a 10-minute reuse, 0-second duration. So pretty nice little buff to get out on there and stuff like that. Now, as I was talking about here with Eagle Strike, so there's like Gorilla Smash. So every time you do Tail Rake, you do that. Each of these have different little abilities. Ravenclaw. My Tiger Claw will trigger this, which will reduce hatred and reduce their attack power. Roaring Strike. Now, they're all in here. It's hard to find them sometimes. Bite of the Asp. Your Eagle Strike, which will reduce the hatred by 2,500, deals and 7,000 over time. That's why I go with Eagle Strike. A little bit more damage. And then there's a kick one, I believe. I just don't remember the name of it. It's like kick versus round kick. So the monks have the exact same kind of thing. Their abilities do special things, but that's that. That's like all the spells. That's my hot bar. That's everything I do there. That's my burn bar right here with all that stuff on there. None of this is the other stuff's really that important. Let's talk about gear real quick. The best gear you can get at this level is Snow Squall. I currently have Snow Bound gear, which is from TOV, the Torment of Velius. Snow Squall comes from the Claws of Vishen, the next expansion. And that gear is required level 110, and so that is the best you can get. But I just didn't have enough to go around, if you will. I've not spent much time in that expansion, so I just didn't have anything to give for that. You're going to want to make sure you have the best stuff you can get, right? I do not have good weapons. I'm currently using something I picked up from Burning Lands at 105. Like, I'm using the same weapon. I did upgrade my offhand to the Stonemason's Hammer, which is a remote healing weapon, to get more healing out. This one is from this is from TOV. I just had this sitting in my bag, so it's just something nice to have around. But we want to get, you know, better weapons. I believe we can get to around 10 to 11 ratio with some good weapons right now, but we just don't have them. So it's kind of, you know, kind of the downside. You want to also make sure you have the latest non-visuals. So for certain things like let's see where the focuses are for the Beastlord. Like there's no focuses. I think the bracer, yeah, the bracer does poison damage. The range item does disease damage. Yeah, so poison, disease. Ice, I think, is hands. Yeah, ice is hands. So I would say ice is probably the most important focus, but I could be wrong. So you're going to make sure you have the highest focus you can get there. Now, these are what you're looking for right here. Not the decay over like level 120. That's who cares, right? I'm 110, so by the time I get to 120, I'm going to have something better. But you want to make sure you get the highest numbers you can get right here on these things. Because that is the best. Now, raid gear is going to, you know, almost double the stats on almost everything. It is crazy how much better raid stuff is. So for getting the focuses, I play on FV, so I have the opportunity to purchase raid gear without having to actually go and do the raids. So you kind of have those, you know, opportunities to increase your gear in certain spots. Like, for example, on my mage, you know, if I can get a hold of some raid arms, I'm going to buy the raid arms and like triple my damage, right? There's, you know, certain things like that you can look for. And, you know, if you're a Beastlord, you're going to look for weapons, you're going to look for gloves, right? I would say weapons is, you know, obviously the most important thing you can do, followed by gloves, and then maybe the bracer. Yeah, maybe the bracer. I think that would be the right. Now that's not worth not mentioning. The earring is going to be another high quality item that you're going to want to get. I don't even know where this one came from. It was just in my necromancer's bag, but it's enhanced minion XXI. It says 110, so I think this is from No Memorial Mountain. So you're going to want to get the best you can get. Let me pop over here. The best one you can get at the moment at 110 is the Summoner's Ascending Earring of Sun, which is XX27. Yeah, 27. That is the best you can get. This is the Burning Lands Raid Earring. There's nothing better that I've found, but I only have one of those at the moment. So the Beastlord did not get it. But, you know, gear-wise, you know, gloves, weapons, earring, bracer, those are all high-quality upgrades you would look to get. Now, that's not saying the other stuff's not important, because you're going to want to get a belt that has overdrive punch on it. So you do extra damage when you do melee. You're going to want to get... what is it here? Pretty much everything else. Like, all these other things, they have benefits to them. Like cast time beneficial spells, you know, everything has benefits to it, right? So just a matter of what you're missing, but gear is really important there. Something I didn't mention is Paragon. This is the reason why I actually run a Beastlord versus another mage. Paragon allows me to give resources back to everybody in the group. What is this here? Increases the health regen by 6,700, mana regen by 2,900, and endurance regen by 600 for 36 seconds. Phenomenal ability. There is also a focused version where you can do the same thing to another one, and they're on separate timers. So I can Paragon the group. When that's done, I can Paragon whoever's low on mana. It is really good. Now, I don't believe any of these characters that I have up right now have the feather, but there is a Feather of Unity from one of the anniversary quests that does a mini Paragon, so that's something I'll be looking to get on all these guys in March. Has even more resource generation, especially on the Beastlord. Is if I can pop Paragon, when that's down, I pop a Feather. I pop, you know, I'm like I'm cooking. I'm cooking with a lot of fuel, and it is gonna be a very nice time for these guys. So that is one of the reasons why I run the Beastlord versus running another mage, right? It's resource generation, and it's got a high damage, right? Beastlord and mage are probably about the same damage wise in you know, most average cases. There's obviously non-average cases where they would not be the same, but it was similar most part. So but that is how I play my 110 Beastlord. I'm excited to get this character all the way to 125 and see what we can actually do with it and see what we can push the limits on. But if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. If there's things I can do to improve the Beastlord, let me know. I would be curious to know what everybody's thoughts are, and if you have questions or comments on anything else, please let me know. I will be trying to delink the Beastlord Discord in the description of this video. That is a place where you can find more information about the Beastlord, and they have guides on how to raid as a Beastlord. So that'll be something that I don't cover in any of my videos. So that'd be something you would can learn from, right? And rating on a Beastlord is almost the same as grouping, but they have very specific rotations they do to maximize DPS and stuff like that. So I'll try to link all the discords to all the classes in all these videos, just so that you know, I'm not the only source. You can go out and get more information and make your own decisions on how you want to play your character. So thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.